All right, here we go. Welcome back to the Focus Forge podcast. I'm your host, Billy Moat, with my co-host, Greg Moat, and our guest today is none other than Pablo Sandoval. If I had to give you a bio on Pablo, then you've been living under a rock and you haven't gone on YouTube enough. Three-time World Series winner, MVP with the Giants. He's had a long career, signed with the Giants in 2003 at 16 out of Venezuela. His energy playing the game was just infectious. I watched his highlights all the time growing up as a kid. Just the way he played the game was special. And we are just so pumped to have you on. So Pablo, thanks for hopping on, man.
Thank you, man, for having me. And a pleasure to be here in the podcast.
Thanks, man. So we just kind of want to dive straight into this. Like I said, signed with the Giants at 16 years old in 2003. What was your career like going into minor league baseball at 16?
No, it was unbelievable because it's one of the things that people don't realize that our culture is different when you're young, like that, 16, you come from another country to play the game they love, but they don't understand our culture is way different in the U.S. And, you have to make a sacrifice. You have to sacrifice a lot of things and make it a lot of adjustment in your career. So, I made those sacrifices and I made those adjustments and thank God that I got opportunity to get to a big league in 5 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. I can't fathom the idea of being called up into the bigs at 20, 21 years old. I mean, it's just crazy. I
You were 21, right? When you
I turned 22. That they called me the day after my birthday.
was that like? That had to have been nuts.
Man, like I said, it's just a dream come true. As a young baseball player, you can play the game, and that's your main goal to get to the big leagues. And when you got that call from the GM and that got the opportunity to play in the big leagues, it's one of the main goals that we got.
Yeah, my question, and we got into this a little bit with Jair the other day. Did you know you were a big leaguer in your mind before you were actually a big leaguer?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I put that thing in my mind. I want to play in the big leagues at 21 years old, and you know, like I say, it's one of the things you put goals in your careers, and you have to do a lot of things and sacrifice a lot of things there to make it. But it's one of the things. If you're a baseball player, you're fine, and you have to put that thing in your mind that you want to get.
It seems to me like, I mean, every kid we talk to, his goal is to play professional baseball, but having that as a goal and actually knowing and believing in your mind that you're already a big leaguer and that it just hasn't happened yet, I think those are worlds apart.
Like I say, when you find a pro baseball, it's a goal you make it. You compromise, and after that you have to put in your mind. It's mindset that you have to put in there. You believe in yourself and trust yourself that you're gonna make it. And I know it's just gonna be rocks on the way that you're gonna fall down, but you have to believe in God that they give you the opportunity to be part of that. And if those dreams gonna go there, you're gonna go compliment.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
that's incredible. The one thing that we always talk to our players about, because we've worked with, just through social media, hundreds of thousands of baseball players and parents and coaches just over the past year, and they all come to us with the same thing. And the biggest question we get sometimes that is, to be honest, is hard for my dad and I to wrap our heads around is, how do I find that motivation to get to that level? And I feel like just from talking with Jair and a lot of guys we've talked to that are high level in baseball, that's never a problem, right? I feel like that's just God given. And also, when you know what you want to do and you already see that in your head before it happens, you don't need motivation. So I feel like, yeah, go ahead.
It's like third advice. It's like you're gonna put a mission board. Like you're gonna be the vision board. You're gonna put it. You have to put everything that you want in your career. So in 2010, I got great vision board there that I put it in Google. You can put Pablo Sandoval vision board and all those things, all those little visions that I put in there got March back. It's only thing that you can trust yourself, believe in yourself, and work hard because not even if you make to a pro, you have to keep working hard or harder to make your biggest.
Yeah, it seems to me with the kids that we work with, there's almost a point where you can care and want it too much. And I know that that rubs people the wrong way when I say it. And this is where I think faith and spirituality come into play. Baseball can't be everything. And some of these kids are just so desperate for it that I don't think they're ever able to play the game freed up. And if they just had faith in God, then baseball isn't everything, right? I mean,
Yes, you said it right. Like I said, it's the parents out there that put pressure on their kids, and one of the things that I want to tell the opportunity to tell people, let it be, let it play the game, let it have fun. They're gonna make mistakes. They're young, they're learning. We made mistakes through now, and one of the things that I love for kids is have fun in the game and respect the game. There's so many things that baseball being changed, but you know, it it's a lot of resource to player be better too.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. You know, we do have this thing because Greg and I are deep practicing Christians, right? We have been from the beginning. That's always been a huge part of my life. There are things that God has done in my career when I thought my career was over after a car accident that just continues to blow me away. He blesses us in so many different ways. And this is where we have sometimes there's a difficult time because there is relying on God and then there is also using the tools that God gives you, right? So there are so many times where players are like praying for strength, praying for courage, whatever it is. But then God's going to put you in situations where you're going to grow, right? He's going to put you in situations where you have no choice but to find courage, and there's that fine line between, because what we do is mindset, right? It's mental performance. We help guys grow. We help them not focus and rely on the outcomes of the game of baseball in order to feel good. And there is doing that, but the biggest piece of that is absolute faith. That's what we call it. Faith in God, faith in our abilities, faith that whatever we're doing right now is what we're meant to do, and it's all going to work out. So how do you navigate that, or in the game of baseball, relying on God, but also redirecting your focus and, using your brain to go out there and find confidence.
Sometimes they're gonna put some difficult in your career to learn how do you handle those things. And one of the things that I've been learning the last couple of years that my wife is Christian, I'm Christian too right now. So last year, I got disciple. So this is hard. When you got God in your heart, everything gonna be the right way if you completely committed to Him. And learn that, and I've been learning that now. Like I say, it's a blast for me to pass the thirst to some guys, and they don't some guys they don't trust they self, they don't believe in themselves, and the only thing that I wanna say, believe in God. God always gonna give you the right choice and the right opportunity for you there in that situation to completely hold you with compliments. So I love being Christian. I love the the way that I've been learning a lot of things about it.
Yeah. It's funny when you become a Christian and you see the world, you see baseball through that lens, you realize that he's had a hand in every single thing. You just haven't seen it. You've been blind to it. But now that you're looking at it through that filter, through that lens, and you see the power in him, you see his hand on everything in your career, which makes, in
Way
my opinion, struggle a lot easier to deal with.
way different. Like I said,
But yeah,
when you throw some things and you believe in God, you're gonna put that thing, let that let God handle those things, and you focus on work. That's the
hmm
only thing you can do. And I've been doing the last couple of months and the last year and the last couple of months, and I love the way that I am. I love the situation that I am right now, different Pablo that I was supposed to be. I wish I can have that in my heart 10 years ago. So I feel
right.
different. Well,
Yeah.
you learn. it's a situation when God put you in the right spot, in the right situation, you're gonna learn and not learning a lot of things right now.
Incredible.
So was faith a part of your life coming up when you were a kid playing in Venezuela, or did that come later?
Well,
Your faith,
eh,
yeah.
I always have faith in that because I was Catholic, and when I started getting more involved in that in the last couple of years, you know, I love the way that I'm thinking right now. Wish I can have that mindset back then, but like I always say, God put you in spot to grow. So sometimes He want me to be a messenger from Him to the other people, give you a message from Him to other people to learn, or give you a message to other players to follow the step or follow God. So like I say, it's things that I love doing them, and sometimes people don't realize how big.
Mm. Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of want to switch here a little bit. I just kind of want to dive into your career. I want to go to 2007, right? Started off in high A with the Giants. He hit 287 with 11 jacks. And then between 2007 to the end of 2008, of August 2008, you were called up to the big leagues. Did you have a switch? Did something change in your brain and the way you approached the game that led to you rising in the Giants farm system so quickly?
It was a process for me because, like I say, I was to understand the language real well. I played 2007 high A San Jose. In 2008, they sent me back then to send me back to high A, and I got a great conversation with Felipe Lowe because I almost break camp with the big league team in 2008. And first month in my career in high A, that month was incredible. I went through, I was hitting 350, three something, 50 RBIs in 1 month or something like that. And I got called up to double A, and I made the future games in New York and the last All-Star game in Yankee Stadium. And, and I played 1 month in double A, and I got called up to big league. But, it's experience or situation that you don't see in that way that God put me in that situation to learn a little bit more of the game because I was 20, 21,
Young.
and people don't realize how big it is this game, how my mindset you have to put in the game. So I learned a lot of things from players. I've learned a lot of things in that particular game, 2008, and I put myself in that situation that I want to be in the big year this year, and I made my goal.
Now, were
There it
you
is
nervous?
again.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was nervous, man.
Yeah.
It's a great story because I got a I was 21, and I was in Connecticut. When the Giants was in Connecticut, we was playing in Akron, driving to Akron, and was like 12, 13 hours bus drive, and I missed the flight from Akron to Houston.
That sucks.
So what did you do then?
So I called the travel secretary of the team, and they booked me on the flight. I lost all my luggage. I have to play with Benji with it. I have to use somebody that day. I love everything, man. Thank God that we wasn't in the big league and that they give you everything.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's rough.
When you add that variable to the equation as a 20, 21-year-old, 22-year-old heading up to the highest stage, man, that I bet that could be a little overwhelming.
Well, yeah, it is, because there's so many rules in the big leagues and the dress code, all that stuff. And when you're in the minors, and the Giants doesn't have dress code, so I was with pants, with holes, all that. And that day we fly, we have to get a suit. So same thing, Nicolina always took me out. He sent the clothes that day to buy me stuff. And, I always appreciate all the things that Benji do for me.
It's awesome. And so I've got these notes here, and I went through and watched all the YouTube videos that I used to watch as a kid. And 2012, game one, October 24th. Walk us through that first AB against Verlander. What was going through your head?
Man, I always put this easy because then Marcus was there to teach me how to read, how to learn to use the computer to learn from the picture. And every spot we talk about that day, Marco and I, all the pitch he throw, that was the pitch we was looking for. And the first at bat when I got to try, I know he loved to pound the guy in with a high fastball.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what, to try this smart, just you know we're gonna come with a pitch and thank God that I got good swing on and going out.
Yeah, I think you got a good swing on it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
right.
that's what happened. Unbelievable. I
Yeah,
mean, that, go ahead.
elevated velo, right? That was fastball up. He tried to bring it
90,
in,
95, 96.
but he left it kind of out over the middle.
Was like a bad pitch.
But
Mm,
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
got a
Still,
turn on one once.
yeah, just to be all over 95 at the top, up high like that, like,
And remember, we faced Belander that year in the All-Star game too. So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of knew him a little bit, but it, it's just a great pitcher. I wish I can be with the guys to have great communication on phone with him this year.
Yeah.
yeah.
What because obviously you ended up hitting three bombs in that game, two off Verlander and one off Albuquerque. After that, walk us through? I mean, obviously big leagues. We've never been to the big leagues, haven't been in pro ball, but we've talked to a lot of guys. Did you notice a difference? What was the difference you saw with what was going on in big leaguers' heads and in your head in comparison to guys even just in minor league baseball?
It's way different. It's way different. It's the way that make that adjustment, the work ethic, the staff you have around. Everything is way different in the big leagues of the minor leaguer. But the difference, you make the difference. If you want to be a big leaguer, you have to make the difference. You have to make the adjustment. You have to work harder than anything. So that's the thing that I say to the young guys. You see guys now throwing every guy that throwing hundreds,
Mhm.
every
Mm-hmm.
guy. It's just,
Yep.
like I say, the way you put it in your mind and the way you want to, how bad you want to be in the league.
Yeah, because there's so much talent. I mean, there's talent everywhere. But
Every
I mean, there's obviously something different about the guys who end up making it, but then there's also another group that make it and stay, and then guys who even go up and perform and produce and become household names like Big Panda, right? I mean, the difference
yeah,
is all here. I
it's
assume
all mental.
it's got to be mental.
It's all mental. The work ethic you put in. So, like I say, I wish I can have this mindset right now back then. But look, it's what it is, and I'm thankful that I still play the game that I love.
Yeah, that's cool.
I was walking through obviously all your highlights, and we were thinking through this conversation we're going to have with you, and the one reoccurring theme that we are finding, just even after talking with Jair, we asked him what was the difference because he struggled a little bit right before he got called up to the big leagues, and he just said that one day he said F it because he was having good outing, bad outing, but he just made a decision to go out there and, hey, I'm not going to bounce back and forth between good game, bad game. He made a decision. And based on what you just said to us, we're going up in between minor league baseball and big league baseball. It's up to you to make that change. And it's not just your work ethic. It's you making a conscious decision to rise to that level. And it's so interesting. And we tell guys all the time, there is so much power in just making a decision and leaving no compromise with yourself internally. When you say you're going to do something, you do it. And unfortunately, I think that's gotten lost in translation somewhere in baseball today.
Yeah, yes, that's the thing. Like, I don't got nothing about analytics. stuff. I love it because I love to learn more of the game. But sometimes guys hitting 300, they don't care about that anymore. They care about taking balls, how hard you hit the ball, how far you hit the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one of the things that back in my years in 2008, if you hit 300, you get paid. If you hit this, you get paid. Now you don't see players in the prime time was 32, 30. Now it's 25, 30 after that. It's a lot of things in baseball that been changed, but like I say, it's whatever you put in your head, whatever mindset you have, is you have to sacrifice a lot of things to do better. You have to.
Billy, I'm with you. I think it doesn't matter if it's baseball, but if it's sports in general, business, music, whatever, it starts with that decision first. I think there are so many kids that are waiting to be phenomenal at the game before they become that person in their brain. Like they're waiting for the outcomes and then they're going to believe in themselves at that level. And man, that is backwards. The outcomes, those come after you make that decision. They come from the belief. And that is what's missing. If there's one theme, Billy, wouldn't you say that's it?
I mean, I've gotten thousands of DMs about that exact thing. Like, hey, man, I'm struggling. How do I find a way to be confident? And I tell them, like, listen, one, be careful of the story that you're telling yourself. You know, so many of these guys are too used to vocalizing struggle, and you have to vocalize it to a certain extent to start to dissect it and get your way through it. But that's one thing, but then buying into that story and then waiting for these outcomes, these barrels, these hits to magically appear, and then you're going to start feeling certainty, feeling confidence, you're going to be waiting a long time because this game's hard. I mean, it is the hardest game out there, in my opinion, besides golf. But
You have to be confident on you step on the field. Nobody can do that swing, you throw a ball. You have to be confident that day, every single day, before you grab a bat, before you grab a ball. You have to be confident and believe in yourself. It's one of the things some players are different right now. You can see one photo is of I mean, you see those guys work, they believe in it, and they thought and they know what performance they can bring to the people. So it's one of these. Some guys don't understand that. Some guys want to do more. The things they can do. So just know your level. If you can master it and be better, it's great. But know what type of player you are.
There's a theme developing here, Billy. I mean, both of these guys are saying the exact same thing, and it starts with here, right here, a decision that I belong here. And for you guys listening out there, that might be the Division One school that you're trying to play at, or the Division Two school, NAIA, whatever. But it starts with the decision.
That's the decision you make. It's all about it.
and that is one of the biggest things we talk through. And as we start working, because a lot of the players that we've worked with have been college guys and even a handful of pro guys. And it seems to, as these guys get older and they progress through the game, obviously as they grow and they get older and they rise, the game speeds up, right? Guys are quicker, everything's quicker. But then they find themselves always coming to us like, hey man, I can't get myself to freaking slow down. And we always it's different when we work with the older players rather than the younger, because the older guys need kind of a shift in perspective, right? We're not aiming to really teach them a ton. It's, hey, you're in control of this. You know the game's going to speed up, but you know the version of you got to be out there to be your best. And that means slowing yourself down. Just slow down. So
People don't understand. That's a good point because, like I said before, right now, it's know the game you can bring, know the game you can play. Nowadays was different. You have to make an adjustment. Some guys don't don't pull that trigger to make the adjustment or sacrifice things when you're older because you think you know everything. But baseball is way different. Baseball is you don't even know things till you get out of the game and you still know it. So it is also the thing that good point you make is some guys think they are the best and they stop with that program or whatever they do. But sometimes you have to when you work and you see the difference again the way they are right now, you have to make an adjustment. And like I said, it's mindset and you have to know what you can do.
Yeah, it's knowing yourself and just be you, man. Like, no matter what is happening, even if the guy in front of you um, is a first rounder, like, you got to be you and be the best you that you can be, because you being you is going to be way better than you trying to be that guy. Because when I start trying to do you, I'm in trouble. I mean, and that is you could bring that right back to faith, really. But you got to
Yeah.
do you. And I think kids struggle with that, with perfect game and PBR, all the rankings, all the videos. And, this guy threw 95, this kid ran a 6.3. They're constantly comparing themselves and they don't know who they are.
That's the thing. There's a lot of competition right now in baseball. So it's one of the things that father put pressure on the kid.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want you to be better than this. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. No, let it be. Let it be. Let it have fun. Play the game. Because it's a game. It's a game. I know you say, well, it's a game to have fun. If you don't have fun in baseball, you're in trouble. It's one of the things that I always say. If you don't have fun, you're in trouble. When you love that love of the game, you're in trouble too. So just focus on and have fun. Respect your team and respect the game.
Yeah. I love that.
I kind of want to piggyback on that point you just made, Pablo. The game is fun. You're right. It is a game. And unfortunately, it seems like a lot of players only get to that point where they can just go out there and just fully detach themselves from the outcomes and let it be what it is when they go through some sort of tragedy or hard period of struggle. And I can point to my own career with that. I struggled, signed to Baylor, played Power 5 Division 1, couldn't figure it out, had 3 first rounders in front of me, struggle, figure it out, then get in a car accident and break my spine. And then I get told I can't play anymore. So then I battled through it for 8 months, talking to 8 surgeons, come back, and I'm not strong. I'm not prepared. I hadn't touched a bat in 8 months, and I get thrown into that lineup my first day back. And I'm like, okay, sounds good. But because the only focus on my mind was I thought this game was gone forever. God has given me a gift here. And I was just relying on gratitude, and that was it. And then I go up there and hit a bomb. But I wasn't nearly as prepared as I have ever been in my entire career. But gratitude is the strongest filter. It is the strongest emotion any player that I can imagine can rely on.
Like I said, you wasn't prepared physical, but mentally you was a bit. You
Mm-hmm.
was grateful because God gave you the opportunity to play one more day of the game that you love. People don't see it that way right now. People don't be grateful right now to play the game that they love. And if you got give you the opportunity, God put you there to be success, and you did it. So it's the thing that stories are like this is make you grow, and players need to understand that too. That okay, I can throw 100, but what happened? You don't got the opportunity that God's gonna get. If I don't believe in myself, I don't have faith in God, what am I gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Did you
And
have any big time struggles, like extended periods of, you
For
know,
any time, I lost the game when I wasn't with Boston. I almost like this. I was like this to let everything go, and I got the opportunity down with my wife, and back then was my girlfriend, like 3 years ago. 3 years ago, babe? 2 years ago, and he started bringing things like sitting down on the couch, watching you do highlights, and what do you do this anymore? Why do you start talking with her and my kid start playing baseball? He was 7 back then. He was like, "Yeah, I want to see you 1 or 2 years play one more time. Like, start working out and do things, and that's the opportunity that they got bring people to you to have that joy again, love the game, they play the game that you love, and thank God that I got opportunity back there, and I went to a big league camps to the Giants. They signed Shad Model, made the team. Well, I got that piggyback that went like, wow, I can do it. And I went to Independent Ball, went to Dubai, and it's things, those little things to make people happy and be happy for the things we do are the most important.
I love it, Billy. That I love that. He watches YouTube videos of himself hitting bombs off of Verlander in the World Series. We talk about that all the time. When we struggle, we replay the struggle in our mind over and over and over, and we feel that frustration and that fear and that, oh shit, what if I'm not good enough? And all we do is go out there and produce more of it by sitting in it and thinking about it over and over, when all you got to do is shift and think about your good ABs. And it sounds like you did that.
That's what it is. It's like do the opposite. When you struggle and you love something, watch the great videos, like great clips that you have, the success that you be having in your career or whatever you do, and act like the great things in your head. Like I say, your mind is a USB driver, and more that you put in there, the good things that you put in there, you're gonna be building it up. If
Love
you
it.
put bad things, if you put bad things, all the good things is gonna be erased, deleted, gone. But the more that you put the good things in your mind, the success, the better you're gonna be.
I love it.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
USB drive. Love it.
Yeah, yeah, I've got notes over here, so I've got that unlocked. I won't steal it from you, I promise. You will be getting credit for that if I ever pub it out.
Right. If you put it in a USB driver, more than you load, you're gonna have more good things that you have. If you put the bad things, all the bad things gonna cover the good things. But if you don't think in the bad things, all the good things gonna be in your head. No matter what the thing, if you had a bad game yesterday, bro, I'm telling you, it's one of the things that people don't realize. Last year, my first A spring training at that, I went 0 for 8, 8 strikeout. And my wife came, I watched every day, came back from the game to home. And, babe, what happened? I'm like, babe, tomorrow I'm gonna get a hit. And straight out. Tomorrow I'm gonna get a hit. Tomorrow I'm gonna get a hit. So I was fighting for a bad situation with my father, so people doesn't know that. But I put all the good things like I'm gonna be positive. Tomorrow I get a hit. Tomorrow I get a hit. I'm gonna be like that. It when that started coming out, I ended up getting 13 hits and 25 at bats.
It's unbelievable. That's okay. So I want to talk about what you just said right there. Yes, it is all about replaying those good ABs in your head, right? Going back, watching video to put yourself back in that positive place, because what we think about, that's what we're going to produce out there. But you also mentioned briefly that, your son, which is he now, what, 10,
But
9, 10?
it's 8, 8.
He's 8 now?
Yeah.
Okay. But I want to ask you this. Do you think, because the other thing we talk about with players all the time is having a strong reason why. You got to know why you're doing what you're doing. Having what sounds like an amazing wife and an amazing kid, that sounds like that had become your why. And that's what
Yeah.
led you to find love in the game, to make your family proud. Does
Yes.
that sound right?
Yes. Yes. Sound right. And you made the right point. When you have people that want you to be happy and be success and know more of the things that you do in your career. So I love the way God put people into my life. And I love the way my wife thinking. She's aware. She want me to be the best. She care about me. I care about her. But one of the things that she care what I do in and out of the field is the most important thing that I have. that's the like I say, that's the best trophy that I have in my life right now.
Love it.
How do people that care about you, teach you the right way, put you in God's hand is the most important thing to do. Right?
He's got that post-wedding glow right now
Yeah, he does.
with that
That
superior
smile,
beard lineup. I was going to comment on the crispy beard lineup and the solid hairline, but didn't know if that
Yeah.
was appropriate for a podcast. You just
You
can't
know,
teach that kind of stuff, man. That's
no,
it's so good. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. So when you, as you got, I mean, let's just talk about. I want to go back to it. I'm going to keep going back to it. I'm sorry, but that World Series where you hit 3 jacks in one game, and I was looking through you. Not only are you one of the best players ever, in my opinion, but you are like one of the most loved players to ever play the game, especially in San Fran. How did that feel for you playing the game when you look around in the stadium and you got people wearing Kung Fu Panda hats and just what did that do to you internally?
you know, like I always say, it's a kid from Puerto Cabello, Venezuela, come to other countries, see other people, and follow and support you all things you do in and out of the field. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable because you don't know what you're gonna predict in life, and you will be a people that are I can be a method to kids and help kids. Back then, for me, was unbelievable. See all those unbelievable 5. I say 5 years because the chemistry was those 5 years, 2010 through 15, and see all the guys that are playing the minor league, all the sacrifice we make in the minor league, won the World Series and the big leagues was unbelievable.
I can't imagine that had.
Me neither.
I cannot imagine, and I love that slider swing for the third bomb.
Down.
That, yeah,
And
well,
and that history about it because the pitch before I swing them as foul tip, the bat that I hit the 2 homer, it left of my hand, hit the rail, great. And I grabbed the bat from the bat boy, and Buster was like, "Let me see if he's the lucky one again. He's the lucky bat," and I hit the homer, and like, wow.
that was a phenomenal move. Just went down, levered off that front leg, and just hammered it.
Unbelievable.
Hell of a move.
How often do you stay in touch with guys from that team?
And I be with everybody, almost everybody. I got great communication with Buster. I got great communication with for I mean, well, me, like I said, I was last year in the big league camp and see those guys wearing the uniform, try to make the young guys to play the game the right way and all the stuff they've been doing in their minor league through the big leagues is unbelievable. So now I wish I can go back there and play one more year.
Mm-hmm. Who was the toughest guy you faced? Who was the guy that you just didn't? Mm, yeah,
Hey, David Price, man.
yeah.
David, and I think I got like 12 of that, 9 strikeouts, something like that. Out of that,
He's filthy.
Chris fell, and that was my first time that I was lefty against lefty, and I, that's the worst swing that I ever made in my life. But the ball sprayed out of my chest. Well,
Mm-hmm. He's so gross. It's
No,
like
yeah.
he's got that. It's like he's got that thing like on a string, and he can just spew out poison. Like, good luck with that, man.
and the early play I always say, thank God we were from the same team. It's Madison.
Mm-hmm.
The growth, and he wants to get
Yeah.
the way he do everything he do, and uh, the way the pitches are. So sometime and after the 2 homers that I got against Belanda, I got one more hit, and he got tougher, and it's unbelievable the way those guys the way they throw the ball, like Hernandez 40, 41, 42, still playing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see guys like that anymore. And I hope baseball can be like that.
That's
Well,
what we're trying to do too. Go ahead.
my question is, there's a lot of frustration out there amongst fans. Everybody's complaining about guys striking out. What do you think about it? Because I don't think a hitter that's going up there looking to not strike out is in a lot of trouble. You can't hit that way. But what do you think the answer is? What do you think's going on there?
I always put somebody teach me this. And you put a baseball bat to a basketball player, he might don't hit a ball.
Yeah.
You put a basketball or baseball player, you're gonna move on.
He's gonna be
Mhm.
nasty.
Yeah.
You put a baseball bat to a soccer player, he might won't hit. You put a soccer player to a baseball player, you're gonna score one goal. And you can strike out, and you can put me from wrong, but Barry teach me this way. So 3 4 10, you are 300 last night hit.
Mm-hmm.
You hold famer. So
Yeah.
you can't strike out no matter how many times. So if you putting yourself get a hit every single day you play, if you count those days that you play or those hits that you make, someday you're gonna get 2 or 3 hits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That's the way that they teach me. That's the way they put in my head. So just try to get closer to 300 or be at top of 300. You can strike out how many times. I wasn't like take a walk. I saw
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
And but the thing is with me, and I put in my head, when like I want to get a hit every time that I get into a home plate.
Yeah.
If you don't swing the bat, you don't gonna strike out.
See, I think there's a difference between going up there to the plate. You just said you were up there with the goal. I'm getting a hit here, right? There's a difference, in my opinion, between demanding more from yourself at the plate and expecting more and desperation and being desperate for a hit. That's where that's where I'm thinking it's getting lost in translation is these kids want it so bad, whether it's because they're scared shitless of their dad reaming them in the car afterwards, or they don't have something to post on their Snapchat story, or they're not going to get ranked by PBR or perfect game in their 12U tournament. Like, it's just the game reeks of desperation right now, you know? And I admire and I think PBR and Perfect Game are doing great things for the game with the video and the numbers. Like, they help me too. I'm not knocking on that, but there's just a level of desperation in kids these days that is leading to them, one, hating the game, and two, not performing the way they should.
Then I put you this situation like this. Get you on a little guy, whatever. Get in that point, how many guys at that age love with hit with to a strike?
None.
Zero.
And if that's the thing that I come from the other country, we play so many balls, and they teach us don't be afraid to get to a strike.
There it is.
Don't be afraid to hit with to a strike because if you put it in your head and how many homers you can hit with to a strike, Lenny, because before you swing, you go straight up, you calm down yourself, you bottom the sun, your swing's gonna be shorter than everything. And I also think that young guys don't do that anymore. They wanna go for the first to pitch or the fence.
Mm.
And then they get tight and scared when they get to two strikes.
Yeah. If you're scared, you're pretty much already done because hitting is so hard. I mean, you still need to be on offense with two strikes. If you start playing defense up there, guys throw too hard to go up there and try to just fight something off. I mean, you can't hit that way. It's impossible.
It is. But sometimes, like I say, with two strikes, is you're gonna be better hitter than no strike
Mm-hmm.
because you wanna hit the ball. You don't wanna NFL. You wanna be short to ball. The swing gonna be different. You don't wanna do a long swing to with two strikes. You don't wanna strike out either. So it's with different things mindset right now and baseball that back then. And that's the way. Some guys know the strike zone, some guys doesn't know, some guys hit the back pitch so well. So it's just different things that the player need to find out what they do the best.
I've got a question. With all the data that you guys have on scouting reports on pitchers, do you think big league hitters are actually going up there? Because if you're facing somebody who's throwing 103 miles an hour, do you think there's an actual two-strike approach, or do you think they're just relying on what he throws and what counts and essentially guessing?
It's guessing right now is the percentage of the pitch they throw in the situation they love to do and are going through with second, whatever. The high percentage of the pitches, they're right. They don't miss. So sometimes either have to play that and play the videos of the pitcher with second, match the percentage of the pitch, what he loves to do, what pitch he like to use to strike out, to attack. Whatever they do, that's right. Hitter right now, they guessing like they
Yeah.
going for it. You can see a hitter like Judge, Harper, Bono, and all those guys. Yankee is one of the best with percentage. JD, Freddie, all those guys you see there, it's a percentage of the pitch. Hey,
I figured. It's just these guys are too nasty. They're throwing 100-mile-an-hour wiffle balls. I mean, it's tough.
and everything go like this. Move.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's cruel. It's insane. And we talked to Jair about this, and he mentioned, because he was an all-star too in 2011. It was 2011, correct? Not getting that wrong. Pretty sure it's 2011.
2011, yeah.
Anyways, one of the things he mentioned to us was, and you touched on it briefly too, there were a lot of things that he himself struggled with mentally from, stuff going on with his family. There are a lot of things that obviously players are struggling with that nobody's going to know what's going on behind closed doors. Did you have a hard time sometimes, or if ever, navigating through that when you had periods of struggle? Did you ever pay attention to anything going on in the media, or did you just shut all that down and narrow your focus on what you got to do?
That's the thing that my wife told me last year when I was playing the baseball. Like, I love the way you pull a lot of things in baseball. And when I was in the sunshine and my dad almost died, he was minutes for minutes. Like every single day something happened like that. And I was throwing that bottle to myself and I love my dad, I love my family and fighting through it and people doesn't know about it and being through my first time when I stopped playing baseball, came back to baseball and being a spring training, and I had the opportunity to make the team, and that team hit you. And sometimes player doesn't know how to separate things. And when I get to a ball, the stadium, I've completely shut it down. Yeah, I was like, this is my word. There are things that I love. If I don't do it well, my family won't be well, and that's what I learned. Separated from baseball and to outside baseball.
Yeah. So it came from a place of gratitude, but also knowing that if you don't perform, your family is not going to eat. In a way.
Yeah. In a
Yeah.
way, yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And it makes sense. I mean, being able to compartmentalize struggle, especially at that level, one, playing at the big leagues and being a star in the big leagues, that's something that's hard to fathom for us, but it makes sense hearing it to where when you get to the field, I mean, you got thousands and thousands of fans, millions watching on TV every single day, and you're like, okay, seems like you would have no choice but to just compartmentalize it and go. Like, there's no other option. You just make a decision and you go.
you have to. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the way you have to do it. Because if you pay attention to all things that happen, like social media, all the stuff they've been changing last years, and you put all that pressure on it, and you care about more those things, your career is gonna be that thing gonna beat you up. So if you separate those things, you're gonna be fine.
Goes back to that saying that we get what we focus on, right? We could all focus on a million different things in our lives that make us feel miserable, make us feel small, timid, afraid, anxious. But that's a decision at the end of the day. You know,
The
it's
decision you make is your decision. The way you have to battle with that, and have the right person next to you is the best thing you gonna it's gonna happen in your career.
Yeah, that helps. They say we become the average of the 5 people that we associate with most. And take a look around. Who are your 5? Better choose wisely, right?
For sure, these are the people like the people you gonna choose is the people that they care about you, they want the best for you, and they want you to be on the top. And I think my five the right way right now.
Yeah. You can tell. Got
yeah,
that grin.
yeah,
The happy
dude.
man. The happy man.
He's got them pearly whites working. He's blinding me in the camera right now. And we always talk about that too, like that we become the average of the 5 people that we surround ourselves with. And a lot of the messages that I get is from players that are like, man, I don't have that 5, whether it's, I had a kid tell me the other day, his dad passed away 3 years ago. His mom's a single mom. She can't afford to have him go to these, hitting lessons, to pay for a private strength guy, all these things that just are second nature to a lot of us here in the States. I mean, I grew up with him as a father, so you can imagine how that went. I was blessed beyond belief to have him. But talking to a kid like that, like and he wants out, he wants to make it in this game. I don't know how good he is because I can't know just talking through Instagram. And I told him, find the people that are going to build you up, right? And that's easier said than done. But that's also why we're doing what we're doing, because there are so many kids out there that don't have that support, that aren't surrounded by people who are going to build them up, instill belief in them, and let them know that everything's going to be all right regardless. And I feel bad for kids like that, and it also helps you feel grateful for your own life as well.
Some people that doesn't have the opportunity, they have the talent, but the people don't believe them in those kids, and I love do that. I got a academy back home, and I want young guys here the dream that I make. So live the moment that I was living in that moment when I get to big. I want kids make their own decision and do the best they can for them and family. And I love doing that, and I love help young kids to do it complement their dream. And that was the way they teach me. That was the way that I learned from so many guys that I was in my career. And I want to pass that torch that I don't care about me anymore. I know I can play the game. I know I do this. I want people get trophy like that. I want people get a ring. I want players being all-star. And it's one of the things that I want to pass the torch to young guys that doesn't have the opportunity and don't have the right people to help them. So, and I know what you try to say. I know what how kids feeling. So because they care about the guy has got talent right now. Like you are a superstar, and I know you're gonna get. It's not like that. There's so many guys there that have more talent and they love the game more than all the people have being superstar.
Mm. Yeah. And
You know how many guys you find in the low round, like, and they made it further than the first round guys.
yeah,
Crazy. I can imagine.
and it's really, you're talking about those kids who don't have resources. And the fact of the matter is, I hate hearing that. I mean, it tears me up. It's brutal. I feel for them, but they got to be careful not to let that become an excuse. Because if you're hungry enough, you can figure it out. You know, the guys that make it, baseball, anything, they have to activate that hunger, because the hunger in a human being, when it's like that fire is stoked and we're fueling that fire, we're capable of 1,000 times more than we even realize. But you got to get hungry. And for those kids who don't have the resources, if you get hungry enough, you'll figure out the resources, you'll find the resources.
Now, the way internet is, social media, they can get so many results.
Yeah.
They can they can teach the right way. And some guys don't use that as a advantage. Some guys use the social media all this to damage. But take those advice from guys they care about the game. Take those advice that the guys want the guys being success and they get in the career. So it's those things that the young guys don't understand right now.
Yeah, it cuts both ways though. I mean, there are incredible resources, but I'm sure these kids feel so much pressure. I mean, you're a 12-year-old kid. You haven't hit puberty yet, and you look and you see that you're not ranked, and you didn't even realize that they were ranking 12-year-olds. I mean, that's got to put a ton of pressure on not just the kid, but also mom, dad, because as parents, man, we want our kids to have it all. We do everything we
Yeah,
can, but man,
I
that's
understand,
tough.
but I put this example when I get to the big league. That year I wasn't in an even top 30 prospect of the team. And put it myself, I'm not in the top 30, but I want to be in the top. If you don't be in the top 30 don't mean nothing. Yes, you're a prospect, yeah, but if you're in the, when you're going to be in that situation, they don't put you there, put yourself in there. Like, you want to be in the top. What is the top? The big leagues. And how I did it, working, respect my teammates, and showing that I love that I have for the game.
Yeah, and that belief certainly helped. I mean, if you can really get to that point where you can see yourself and you know it's a done deal, I'm getting there. To me, that's you're a lot. You've covered a lot of ground there. I mean, it starts with that decision, right? That decision has to come first. You don't find yourself in the big leagues and then say, "Oh, I'm a big leaguer now." You have to be that guy mentally beforehand.
Before you do, you have to go like this. You must and everything. Like I always say, God, if you God help you put you in that situation, believe you're gonna make it. And don't judge don't how you celebrate, don't never question God. Because some guys do it. And don't question God because God knows what you like.
And that is difficult to do at times. I've found personally. You always go back to it, but it's sometimes it is difficult. Like when I was told by 7 surgeons that I could
Oh,
I was told, like there's no way. Like I finally figured it out mentally at the school I was meant to be at, feeling good, playing like myself, playing well, and then bam, ladies texting and driving and my career's over. I'm like, there's no way that's right. And I refuse to believe that God would put me through all that to get to that point where I'm right and playing like myself to have it all go away. So I refused to buy into it. And then he showed me, he put me in the right situation. I took advantage of it. And then I broke my back again the next day. And then I ended up breaking it 3 times and then hanging the cleats up, being done. And my point was I was angry with him for a while about that. I was angry with him just because I was so confused. But now with what he has laid out for us and what we're doing for a living, what we want to do, there it is. There's the purpose. But if I would have abandoned it and abandoned him, who knows what I'd be doing right now? So it was hard in the moment, but you just got to stick with it, and then he'll show you what it's all about after.
it's hard in the moment, but some guys don't get the message. Some guys don't get that situation. So I was like that. I was questioning that so many times in my career, and when I when I met my wife, that's when I was like, "Why you questioning that so much? Why you don't let that and those things. And you worry about be a better father, be a better man, work, pray, do whatever you can do to be better, and let those things in God's hands, and I start doing it, and I feel like you carrying a backpack with rocks. When you
Mhm.
start doing that every piece of day, every single day, every little rock that you have there, we're like,
You're free.
and
Yeah.
you free, and always gonna thank my wife because she teach me the way to get a lot of things out of my life, and God put that woman in my life to learn a lot of things, and I've been learning, and now that I'm playing dependable, having more fun than anything, bro. Every time I play you,
Yeah.
it's those little things that you don't think is gonna help you. They help me.
It's
Oh,
incredible.
that's the stuff that helps the most. When you can finally just relax and play and have a good old time, that's when we're best at anything, not just baseball.
Yeah, anything.
So good. You know,
And
speaking of
I'm and,
that,
I, and
go
I'm
ahead.
grateful the things that Baseball United doing and right now, man. It's a lot of opportunity they're gonna get young guys like from other countries, from the other continent to play baseball. The game they don't have the opportunity to watch there, and bring it there is a bless for each baseball player going there.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question. How excited are you for that UAE Classic coming up?
Yeah, I love that. See baseball players that with big names
Hmm.
out there, and turn those baseball field with guys from Israel, India, Pakistan to people don't they know how to play cricket, they don't know how to play baseball. But the way we bring that to them, and last 2 years, and it's unbelievable the thing they've been doing and over there.
It's exciting. Cash and John are good dudes. I've never met Cash, but
That's
paid
a
atten-
great guy.
I've
He's a
paid
great
attention
guy.
to
He
his
loves
social.
baseball.
He doesn't mess around. I mean, he seems like a go 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 kind of guy. But
It's the type of guy care about everyone, and that is unbelievable the way he promotes the Baseball United, the way he bring guys to help him. And John is a great guy, man. Like all the stuff they have in there, they're unbelievable. And I got opportunity to sit with them, and I talk about the program. It's unbelievable.
John really is a special guy. So is Eddie. So is Carlos. Those are the three guys we've had points of contact with. And, you know, from the time we first started talking with John, we dove into what BU's all about and what they're building and what you guys are doing over there. And it kind of brought us to the same conclusion. Like these guys already saw this being massive in their heads before they even broke ground or even walked over or flew over into Dubai. Just massive action, bringing people who get it. Some of the best players ever involved. And now look at it. I mean, it's truly unbelievable what you guys are doing over there. And I can't wait to watch. I'm gonna cut that part out,
Like I
but
said, I love being part of being historians, and the first ever game playing in the Middle East is unbelievable to be part of. And it's whatever they doing out there, that they do it because they love the game. They want baseball be worldwide, and it's one of the things. And you can play baseball and everywhere you want to, but if you don't show them how you play it is the way you don't wanna express baseball.
yeah, when is that? That's coming up, right?
yeah, is it
Next
the
week,
Next
yeah
week.
next
Wow.
weekend?
February 14th, I think so.
When do you
Is it
leave?
the
When do you leave?
At the 12,
That's
12th?
going to be a long flight, right?
13 hours. Oh my God.
I want to go to Dubai bad.
We both do.
You're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. But the way the country are, the way the people treat you is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can't wait to go there play baseball for BU.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm jealous. That looks like just a wild time. I mean, it's so modern, but yet culturally it's Muslim, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hmm. I'd
It's
love to see it.
gonna like I was saying, I got kind of little honeymoon, and I play the game that I love out there. It's gonna be fun for me.
Oh yeah. So
Oh
the
yeah,
wife's going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
that's a win-win situation over there for
yeah,
Pablo.
without question.
That's gonna be incredible. Man, I'm so happy for you guys that all that's coming and it's next week. Feel like John's been talking about it for months and seeing it seeing just him break ground on that stadium, and then was it 30, 40 days later it's built, that field?
45 days.
I don't
45
40,
days.
understand.
45 or 35 days, something like that. It's
Unbelievable.
unbelievable, man. Unbelievable the way they did it. And all the pieces they put in there, the guys who are, that is the type of guy, he wants something, he want to put something in there, he want to build it, he build it, and he all those young guys, he put it in those young guys a little bit hope for baseball, and it's unbelievable, guys. They can play in all the leagues, and they got opportunity to play in baseball United. It's unbelievable.
See, I'm curious to see the difference you find after playing next weekend between, you know, playing for BU and playing in the bigs. Obviously, it's going to be different, right? Obviously. But
Obviously,
I'm curious to see, because what Jair mentioned to us was that when he played in like that All-Star East-West thing, he found that it was almost like, yeah, they were East and the West were competing with each other, but they were also a part of the same mission, which was to make this a smashing success, right? So I wonder if that's going to be the same situation environment for you next weekend.
yeah. Like I said, for me, it's I love to make history, and I want to make history. I know Baseball United doing this for a reason, and the reason is help people play the game, love the game, respect the game, and bring that to Middle East. It's unbelievable. See young guys that don't got opportunity to play in the big leagues or here in the major leagues, and be with guys that being the top one, and turn the field with guys being the top one, in that game, and it's unbelievable for me. For me, it was a dream that time, the All-Star game, because I got opportunity to share field with Bartolo,
Yeah.
Robbie,
Yeah.
yeah, all those guys, and you see guys like that, wow, it's unbelievable all the things they're putting together to make it happen.
Huge names. I mean, huge names involved with this thing. It's amazing, this group of guys that are coming together to do this over there. It just seems different, cool.
We have fun in that thing. It's a
hmm
fun part, and when you love the game, you have fun, everything's gonna be right.
I'm curious to see how those players that are coming from, India, Pakistan, places like that are going to be coming onto the field and playing with Pablo Sandoval and Bartolo and Robinson Cano and Didi. Like, I'm curious to see how they are. I bet they're going to have an absolute blast, but they might be a little shaky in the legs to start.
No, but that All-Star game, they had a couple guys that can play the game. Remember, cricket is almost baseball.
Right.
Is the only thing the ball bounces,
hmm
and they can play, they can hit,
It's awesome.
and you see that series they have like 3 months, 4 months ago, and it's unbelievable the way they did it, and I love that because see people for me is Middle East playing baseball is unbelievable.
Yeah. It's going to be incredible. There's something that I wanted to ask you, and I'm kind of switching gears just for a quick second. Um, After talking with Jair, he mentioned that he was going through stuff mentally, and it wasn't always encouraged for him, for men, especially in the game, to talk about this stuff, like struggles mentally. And he said he felt like he kind of wasn't it was almost like a reoccurring theme for him to where he was struggling mentally, but he didn't feel comfortable talking about it and appearing weak. Is that what you found or what you're finding in your pro career?
Sometimes, sometimes we mentally we not that 100% on it. Like sometimes we're gonna have problems or have like battle out demons and and I learned that from that when I walk out of the game and I don't worry about right now. I don't worry about being do good and after think some players need to understand we human beings maybe so and don't take that person and when you have problems or try find the help people to help you because the most that when you find people to help you the more success you're gonna be and I learned that and I learned that because some guys it's 1,000% in baseball some guys have some problems and there's no way to come out. It's just try to find the right people and the people to help you to be there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, the game, it's not just the game. I'd say it's everywhere. I mean, men, we don't like to look weak. We don't we don't want to put ourselves out there that way and get vulnerable, but sometimes you have to. I mean, it's better to
It's,
talk about it, a
it's
problem
better talk
shared.
about it's better talk about it that probably be
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a problem shared is a problem halved. I think that's what the British say. Tell somebody, talk about it.
And it starts with
talk
being
to
honest with
people.
yourself too. You know,
Yeah, it
an
is.
honest self-evaluation goes a long way because if you can't sit down and look at and be comfortable looking at that man in the mirror, how do you expect to go out there and have other guys rely on you in this game or anybody rely on you in life if you don't rely on yourself? If you're not comfortable with what you are and who you're about and who you are and what you're about.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's the way the best way you said is sit it on the mirror, talk to yourself, and when you're in that spot, how you gonna look at yourself and how bad you want that and how you can make the pro. The that's the way the best way to do it.
Yeah, it's incredible. Well, shoot, Pablo, thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you,
Really.
man.
Um,
Anytime, anytime.
yeah, I appreciate
Yeah.
you. Is there anything else you want to say? Anything else you got for our guys listening?
Bro, just keep working hard. Don't lose that love for the game. No matter what situation you are, just be thankful and be grateful to share the field, to share personal things with the people next to you and let God handle those things for you and you're gonna feel and you're gonna be a better person.
It's incredible.
Solid stuff right there.
Yeah, thank you. Pablo Sandoval, incredible human being. So pumped to watch with BU, and your career has been so fun to watch over the past however many years, man. So grateful. And I know there's a lot of guys listening to this who needed this, not only from the mental side, but from the faith side. You've been through a lot. You've got amazing people surrounding you. And the fact that you were able to, chop it up with us a few days after your wedding, thank you for that.
Yeah.
No
So,
problem, man. You guys.
yeah.
Appreciate you,
So,
man.
yep. All right. We'll
Thank
catch you guys on the next one.
thank you, man. See